What's up, guys? I'm Sportspective,
And I'm Skayzzz.
and welcome back to the ISO Paradox podcast. Skayzzz, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. I'm sitting in Cancun right now. I'm with my boy Gabe Vincent, with LeBron James, with Luka Doncic, all of them. You know, the
Yeah,
Laker
yeah.
legends.
Soon to be Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, Derek White. I'd say Al Horford, but he's probably going to retire after this year. So,
See, that would affect me if we weren't winning in seven and not winning the championship. I'm telling you right now, it's the Skayzzz prediction right here. The Knicks ain't got shit on us.
no, but like,
It's been since Stephen A. Smith was 5 years old that they won a championship. That boy's 60 years old. They not gonna touch the championship. Nobody's gonna beat the
no,
Celtics.
like you actually believe
I believe
Celtics.
that. I believe
Really?
that because
Why?
listen. Boom. We have the most well-rounded team in the NBA. That's a fact. Derek White, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown can take that leap. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
I sure hope so. He's getting paid like $500 million for however long he's got paid. Like, I sure hope he could take the leap and be the best player on the team. Like,
Listen, this game, game six, will turn either a new page in Jaylen Brown's career as a solidified actual like a guy that should deserve respect, or he will be tarnished. And I don't want to go through that
can
again.
I can I say something?
His left hand Jaylen Brown was a real thing last year, and I don't want the disrespect.
Win or lose,
Yeah.
is Jaylen Brown on the team next year?
No, I think okay. Win or lose is a big thing. Win or
Mm.
lose the series, win or lose the finals. What are you talking about?
Series, like 6 or 7.
Win or lose a series and we don't get embarrassed in the Pacers series, or we don't get
No,
embarrassed
no,
in
no, no,
in
no,
the
no,
finals,
no,
we keep
no,
him.
no, 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 no. Like you guys lose the series against the Knicks.
Oh, we lose it?
What? Yeah, you
This
lose the
today.
series.
Today.
Let's just say today you guys.
Brown has like okay, we I don't even care what he has. If we
Because
lose,
I
yeah,
don't I don't think it's
we remove him. Yeah.
how I don't think it's even like how is it possible to keep him with the whole salary
But
issue? That's
why are we acting like we didn't win the championship last year? Like that's
no, no. Well,
that's
I don't think you guys are breaking up the team because of
it's
chemistry or
money. I
roster.
know
It's
it's
literally just money, right? So I'm just
yeah.
trying to say, like, win or lose, is he a Celtic next year? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's embarrassing, I think if Brown doesn't step up this game, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be superficial, I don't want to be it be a end all be all, but it kind of is, right? Like, what can Brown do with Tatum being out? The game before with him and Derek White had a
Hey,
must
no,
have,
no, yeah, no, he
but
played phenomenal. I like that. Yeah.
Derek White led the charge,
Mm-hmm.
right? Cornette arguably played better,
No, no,
and
but
that's Cornette.
I thought Brown's he had
Yeah,
a good stat line though, 26, 8, and 12, I believe.
he was
It was a
great.
phenomenal stat line. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, I don't think Porzingis will be on your team
no,
next year just because
no,
of the
Drew Holiday
salary.
won't.
I
Yeah,
don't think Drew Holiday will. And
no.
I don't know if they have enough to keep Brown just because, like I said, he's getting paid $500 million. Like I don't see the new owner wants to make budget cuts.
Mhm.
So I feel like if Brown has an average game, let alone anything less, I
Mhm.
think he's gone.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Like
So
if he doesn't have a good game,
yeah,
and like you said,
even average,
average,
even if he
yeah,
gets like an 8, like a 20 point, 22 points, like
and they lose, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't think he's going to be a Celtic
He
next year.
he's confused. He's a very confusing player. I'll say that.
Hmm.
He will and like I think Boston's they're in a very awkward place, right? Because again, you just lost, Tatum, and he's gone to like 2027, maybe late
Yeah.
conference finals if the Celtics get there.
Hmm.
And again, it's if it's not apparent already, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm trying to like I'm
No,
hoping.
it's pretty apparent.
Okay. I'm hoping that they get there and Tatum in the back, he makes a full recovery. I hope the best news for him, but it's not likely that he's coming anytime soon, and it's
Yeah,
not
no,
possible, right?
no, I don't think so
So
either. So
if you're the new Celtics owner and the GM, you got to think like this, right? Where do we place Brown on our priority list? Do we place him over Derek White? No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think.
so. I don't think
Derek
so.
White's a winning player. I
Yeah,
think we can agree to that.
but
He's a very
it's like if you
special
knew
player.
that this was going to be the issue,
Yeah.
why would you
Did
go
we
ahead and
know that?
pay? But
Did we,
like I think, but knowing that Tatum and Brown
Mhm,
making up for about $500 million
mhm.
combined in salary,
Yeah.
like it's pretty obvious that was going to be an issue down the line. So why give them that kind of extension when you're just gonna like? I feel like maybe you guys thought if this year went well,
Mhm.
you won another ring, maybe it was worth it. But if you still have to get rid of them,
That
why
was a
give them
thought
that kind of
process
money,
right there.
right?
That was a
Yeah,
thought process. Like
yeah.
the team, at least for me, and I think for most Celtics fans, was the thought process that yes, there's no universe where we're keeping all the players on our roster and coming into the
Mm-hmm.
year, right?
Yeah.
But we're like, we're a title contending team.
Yeah.
We brought guys back. Some guys even look better. Like a Payne Pritchard
Mm-hmm.
looks
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal this
Yeah.
year.
6 man of the year.
It's 6 man of the
Yeah.
year, right?
Yeah.
Porzingis, I thought early in the year was
When he
great.
when he came back
Yeah,
from his injury, he looked good.
that's good.
I don't really know what's happening now with him in the playoffs, but I think Mazzulla. I don't know if he was joking about it when he said that he couldn't breathe, or that was the reason why he subbed him out in after 12 minutes. Like he just couldn't. I don't know if that
Joe,
has like I don't get
I
that, but
Joe Mazzulla is a very I like him as a coach, but I think sometimes he can play situations wrong or run wrong rotations, right? I
uh
think the Porzingis getting him out of there in that game, we would have lost that game. I'm not gonna lie to you. If we gave the keys to Porzingis, he wasn't playing good, and I don't get it because prior experience against the Knicks,
he's been a killer,
he's been a
right?
killer,
Yeah,
right? But I
yeah.
get it's the playoffs, and
But even that, like moving forward, let's just say you guys do win today
yeah,
and take it to game seven. It's like him playing these 12, 14 minutes, that's not going to help him.
and he's not doing
And
anything.
he's a piece that you guys need.
Yeah,
Like he's like a top two, top three player on the team now without Tatum. So
yeah.
he needs to be getting active minutes,
But
I think.
Look at Luke Cornett.
Yeah, Cornette played good. Yeah.
Look at Sam Hauser was really good. This was his first came back, and then he's an X factor. Sam Hauser's an X factor. That's
I
my
don't think
guy.
so. I don't
That's
think
my
so, but
guy.
okay.
That's my guy.
No,
Vince said
I think
that.
the Knicks win today. And I know you don't want to hear that, but I think Knicks win
Not gonna
today. And
happen.
I think like Celtics best move, knowing that Tatum's going to be out
Mhm,
for majority, if not all of next season,
mhm.
is maybe focus on getting rid of the budget cuts and maybe trade for some draft picks and maybe just try to rebuild around Tatum and Derek White for like 2027. Because if you stop Tatum on the team,
Yeah.
obviously you're going to be a good team.
Hmm.
And if you keep a key piece like Derek White and Sam Hauser and Payton Pritchard off the bench and Cornette, Al Horford will retire. But if you keep some of these main pieces, aside from Brown and Tingus and probably Drew Holiday, which would suck, if you kind of build around those guys, maybe 2027, you guys could be back in that title contention.
I've always okay. I haven't been in this like as a Celtics fan again. I haven't been in this position since 2015, I'd say,
Mm-hmm.
where we weren't because 2016, 2017, I could have saw us we could have got to the conference finals, but again, LeBron James. But up after that point, I always saw us as a title contending team, whether that be with like delusional like 2020 or 2021, and then 2022, 2023, 2024 rolls around and we're winning. We're getting to the conference finals. All of Tatum's career, he's been to the conference finals, like five conference finals and two finals, right? So it's a winning atmosphere. So it's hard for me to be like, yes, let's throw away these guys and
Mm-hmm.
get draft conversation. The whole 26 season is just based off of that. That's hard for me, honestly. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get it. I
But I
get
think
it.
that's kind of what I
You
think that's
have
what
to
we're going to
do
go
it.
into. Yeah.
You have to not fully go from the ground up, but you have to
But let
go
me ask you
down.
this: who in the NBA is going to take on Jaylen Brown's contract? because I'm not saying that he's like a
Dallas.
player who doesn't Dallas.
Fucking knowing Nico Harrison, bro. You really,
Imagine you guys get Cooper Flag and Nico
yo,
Harrison wants Jaylen Brown in return and like Chris
don't get
Stapps
me, don't, yeah.
and Drew Holiday. That's actually that's actually not a bad trade.
Wow.
We might have just figured something out for
Yo,
Nico Harrison.
Nico, if you can hear me,
Because think about it, Kyrie's out for December, January at
he's
most.
not gonna do it. He's
But
not
I'm
gonna
just
do
saying,
it.
imagine
But
you have
he's,
Drew Holiday,
yeah,
a team with Drew Holiday, which you pair
yeah.
right back up with Anthony Davis. They
Mm,
have chemistry. You have Drew Holiday. You get Jaylen Brown.
mm,
You have Anthony Davis. Kristaps Porzingis.
mm,
80 gets to play with the center, right?
yeah.
Defense wins championships. I, I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't get you booted off the first round.
I don't know. That might be crazy.
Yeah.
Is that Lakers this? Because I felt like that was a
You
Lakers. I
got
don't like
delayed. You
that.
got delayed.
I don't like
That
that.
was it.
I don't like that. No. But
Yeah.
let's move on to Pacers real quick.
Mhm.
Just destroying the Cavs in 5 games. I
We've had our
as much
conversations about this.
yeah, we've talked about it. As much as I am a Lakers fan and I love LeBron, it's time. It's time. He needs to go to Cleveland.
I
Like
don't,
he needs to, bro.
no, no, no. I
Because
don't
like
want it. I don't want it. I don't
because you
want
look
it.
at it and it's like Donovan Mitchell, for as good as he is, he can't be the leader on a team. We've seen this so many times with great players. They're just not leaders
I don't
and they
want
can't.
LeBron back in the East, bro. Please, please, bro. I don't want him back in the
But you
East.
don't have to worry about it if you're Celtics next year. You don't have to worry about it. You guys are
We're
not going
gonna
to
get
be.
eight seed. Watch,
You're not going to be.
watch. You know how trash the East is. You don't think we could get a playoff
No,
spot?
no, you definitely could. You
We could
definitely
get a
could.
playoff spot,
Yeah,
and watch.
yeah.
We'll get the Cavs will be first, and we'll be the eighth seed, and we'll beat a play-in team,
So
right?
what do you do if you're Cleveland?
You
What do you give up? No, but what do you give? Like if
what do you give
LeBron's,
up?
yeah, what are you giving up?
Okay,
Would you even want LeBron if you're Cleveland? Because I would. Like I mean I
you get a champion. I'm not gonna lie to you. You get a championship out of it. Like, there's no way you don't get a championship
like
out of it.
think about it. Like look at the roster that's built around them. Just swap out
Do you give up
LeBron.
Garland? Can you give up Garland? Can you
I don't
give up
think
a
you.
Mobley?
No, I don't think you give up Garland
A, J- a Jared
because they have
Allen?
Luca. They have Luca and they have Austin Reeves. So I don't see how they give
A
up
guard.
Garland. That makes any sense.
But like, money wise, what would they
Money
do?
wise, I think I'm not too sure on the money wise, but I think Donovan Mitchell would have probably have to go.
But then you're,
But
bro.
you're swapping
I
Donovan for LeBron, so it's like, is it really that big of a
like,
LeBron's better than
bro.
Donovan Mitchell? So I mean, like,
But
if
then what does Cleveland have?
no, but if you get rid of
Because in
Donovan
this
Mitchell,
magical world, right?
yeah,
Where let's say
you probably have to get rid of Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen because Lakers want a center, so it makes sense
LeBron's
that they
not in
go
a
for.
he's not in a better situation.
But I think he has
Because
more. I think he has more depth around him because Cleveland's bench is pretty good. They have Evan Mobley, who just won Defensive Player of the Year. So LeBron doesn't have to be the number one guy on defense. They have size.
yeah.
They have a point guard
Hmm.
if they want to keep Garland. I don't like
But
Garland
they don't
that
have
much,
do they
but
have a are you gonna rely on Garland when
they have
let's
DeAndre
say
Hunter.
like
That's a good.
offensively you're gonna rely on Garland in these last because LeBron, I'm not gonna lie to you, we've talked about this. LeBron will take a backseat on offense, and he will
But see, I don't think he has to take a backseat on offense in Cleveland though, because if you view how Lakers played them this year in the playoffs,
mhm.
they look at LeBron who's 40. It's just a fact. I'm not using an excuse. They're just looking at a 40-year-old, even how good he is. They're looking at him. They're like, listen, we need you to be the best on defense every single night, and then we need you to contribute at least 22 to 25 to 26 points a night. So he was getting tired in the end of the fourth quarters. He was having problems. If you put him on Cleveland, he doesn't have to be the best defender. You have Evan Mobley, who's the best defender this year technically because he won Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's the best defender paint wise. He's better than Gobert. He's better than Draymond.
Not better than
Okay,
Wemby.
Wemby.
Watch
Yeah,
when
that's
Wemby
fair.
comes back. Watch when Wemby
That's
comes
fair.
back.
That's fair. I'm fine with Wemby. But
Yeah.
you have DeAndre Hunter,
Mhm.
great perimeter defender,
Yeah.
right? So I don't think LeBron has to necessarily take on so much.
Did I hear Gobert?
If you say something, I will literally bring up. I will bring up Tatum. I
Oh
will
my
bring up.
God. No, you don't get to bring up Tatum.
You don't get to bring up Gobert. That's
No,
an
that's an
insult. That's
injury. That's an
and
injury. What can you do about you go
Gobert's
Barrett?
an injury to my soul. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. We
Okay.
did not lose the series in a game five because Rudy
You
Gobert
lost
just had
game five
to be prime Shaq, bro. Like I can't deal with
What were
this. I
your
can't.
reactions to like mid
No, no,
game?
no, no, no. I don't want to talk about it.
No, like
I don't want to talk
honestly,
about
like
it.
you come on. Like
No, Lakers need to make some moves.
adjustments
And I feel like if I'm LeBron, I'm thinking to myself,
getting bitched by Rudy. Yeah.
no, I'm just thinking to myself, like, I've done what I needed to do in LA. I said I want to win a ring. You did, right? I broke the all-time record leading scorer in LA.
Hmm.
Uh, yes, he's had some rough years. They missed the playoffs twice, first round twice, three times actually because of the Phoenix series. Made the Western Conference Finals, he got swept. So it hasn't been all that sweet. So I think if I'm LeBron, I'm like I view the Lakers. We traded Anthony Davis away, who was his really close friend. Yes, we got Luca, but it's like they're obviously moving on post me. Let
Yeah.
me go somewhere where I can actually help a team who values me enough to put me in a position where I can win and I don't have to take so much energy on both ends of the floor. If I'm Cleveland, I say, listen, we'll do some trade talks, maybe send Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, and somebody else. Maybe get LeBron James, potentially Austin Reeves, if they're looking to trade that. Because like you look at Luka Donovan Mitchell is going to be a nice duo for sure. I don't know if they necessarily work, but
It
it
wouldn't
wouldn't be.
work. It wouldn't
But
work.
it's like Austin Reeves
It's
and
like Kyrie and what is it called? And Luca again. It's just two
but
generating guards.
they made the
Offensive.
finals.
They did.
They made the
They
finals,
did
right?
make the
So
finals.
I don't know like if that necessarily doesn't work, but
But
I'm just
Dallas had a
looking at
good bench
them.
at the time.
Yeah, but maybe another team could get in the mix,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. LeBron James is not one guy to be traded. He's never been traded in his
Mhm.
career.
Yeah.
He usually signs, so I don't know if he has a 55 or 52 million player option. So I think he's going to take that
But do you
and
think that's
maybe
the best? Like, do you think
I
that's
think
really
for
the
him
best destination?
I think
Like,
just for
like
him I
Cleveland
think for
aside, Cleveland aside, like what Cleveland means to him and what he means to Cleveland. What do you think is the best destination? Right? That has the pieces. That if he gets there, it's a better situation than the Lakers that actually can make a finals push. Because I don't think the Cleveland, as much as its size and the defense and
but I think if you swap Mitchell with LeBron, you tell me Cleveland can't make the finals?
no, bro, I
They
don't
won
see that.
64 they won
No.
60 some games this year. Think about it. Just think about it for a second.
Yeah.
It's LeBron James.
But we're acting like,
Oh,
okay, hold on. Did Mitchell not do everything? Everything in his power to win. Mitchell was dropping 40 bombs. Mitchell was generating offense that Cleveland could. It wasn't
but
because of Mitchell.
it's
It was
but
because of what around Mitchell was.
it's different though because it's like Mitchell doesn't bring winning. He doesn't bring leadership. He's not a leadership guy, and that team has nobody who's a leader. Nobody. Jared Allen's not a leader. Evan Mobley's not. They're not
Mhm.
leaders. You put LeBron James on the floor with Cleveland players. Let's just say they keep Garland, right? They go Garland, Max Strus, DeAndre Hunter, LeBron, Mobley. Let's just say starting five.
Mhm.
That team looks like it's a pretty
On
good team,
paper,
especially
yeah.
and no, but not just that. You put them in the East.
Yeah.
We've talked about how weak the East is, especially now with
Next
Boston.
year, yeah, next year,
Not in
yeah.
super high contentions. The Knicks are they're a belittling team
Mhm.
in the regular season.
Mhm.
Pacers are not great. Bucks are going to lose Giannis. We'll get into
Mhm.
that. They're going to lose. So it's like who? How many teams do you really have? Like Pistons are good, but they're young.
Yeah.
Atlanta's good. They're young. Like these teams they're young teams. They're not gonna like. I think Cleveland will cruise past without LeBron. Even if they just keep Mitchell, they'll be great again. But it's
You
like,
think they could win the
but
finals?
it's how many times do you want to make the playoffs and lose in
Yeah.
the second round or the conference finals
Mm. Do you think they can win the finals though?
if they have
Beat an
LeBron?
OKC, beat an OKC team, beat a
I need to see what they put
OKC Destiny.
together. Well, yeah, we'll get into that too. But I just want to see what
Mm.
the team would be built around LeBron.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, this is the difference is they're not actually building a team around LeBron. they're inserting LeBron into a team that's already built.
Pre-made and all that.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they just have the coach of the year.
hmm
They have the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
They had a runner up for 6 men of the year, Ty Jerome.
hmm
So it's like you already have this team built around you. Donovan Mitchell is gonna make an All NBA team.
Yeah.
So you already have this team around you, and you
It's
just place LeBron
competent.
James.
It's a
Yeah, you're
competent team.
and well, they won the most in the
Yeah.
entire regular season, so they're
You're gonna have to give
beyond
up
more
stuff though.
competent. It's
But you're
just
gonna have to give up
yeah,
stuff.
that's
You're
fine.
gonna give you your best player
That's fine.
for
But you're getting
for LeBron James.
yeah. Jared Allen's gonna definitely go, which would suck for Cleveland.
If I'm Cleveland, I
You're
don't
not
care
doing it
about I don't care about Allen as much as Allen can be good. I'm not doing it personally
just because of Mitchell.
because of Mitchell and because you get LeBron and then what after?
But didn't we just speak about how the two guards who are ball dominant don't work?
They don't.
That's literally what Garland and Mitchell
Mhm.
are.
But is LeBron the answer
But
for that
I think
for
LeBron's a
the
better
future of it?
answer.
If yeah, 100%. I think okay.
No. You can't. There's no such thing like we're done that conversation where it's like LeBron and future. Those
They
two
don't
things
work together.
cannot.
Like that's
They
what I
can't
mean.
because
They don't.
He's done in a
Yeah,
year or
he's
two
done in
at
a
most. But
yeah.
it's like, but if Cleveland, do you want to win now? Because how many more years do you want to keep Donovan Mitchell as your main player?
hmm
Keep having amazing, successful regular seasons,
And then getting out. I
and then
know.
just lose it. Like you should not lose to the Pacers.
It's take. I
You
know what
should
you
not
mean.
lose to the Pacers.
You either take a gamble or you actually are able to
It's
like
like
pivot.
if you don't get LeBron, I
hmm
think you're gonna probably look for someone else because
hmm
Mitchell he's never been to a conference finals,
hmm
right?
He's being a team. He's being an OKC
And
team.
who?
Like a young when he was Mitchell with
Oh
yeah
You beat
yeah
Russ and Paul George, yeah.
yeah he was he's
But but
being
but
teams
but but
that
again,
are
look how good that team was.
yeah
It's like the same thing. It's like Donovan Mitchell finds himself to be the best player on very good teams or very good regular season teams. Utah
hmm
Jazz, amazing
hmm
regular. They had first place multiple times,
hmm
and then you put him in Cleveland, first place. But again, what good is it to just be good regular season? I think Cavs fans, Cavs organization, they want to win.
yeah
Call up, see if LeBron's willing to
come back
maybe not not renegotiate his contract, opt out of his contract, become a unrestricted free agent. Because that's the thing, you don't actually have to trade then. You could
hmm
do a sign and trade instead. So it's not you don't have to actually give up so many pieces. Because if you're signing LeBron, right, there won't be a trade involved. I'm just thinking, salary wise, Allen will go because Lakers are looking for a center.
hmm
Trade Allen in the sign and trade or whatever you have to do. I don't know. I think if I'm Cleveland,
I'm not doing that.
I
I
look
get
into
it.
it. I
I
think I
get
look
it.
into
Yeah,
it.
you win it. You have the best possible chance of winning a championship. But again, I know you can't even say the word future and LeBron together.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Cleveland GM, I want sustainability over now. You know. So I get it though. If I'm winning a championship, I'm going with LeBron, 100%.
Yeah. Quickly, just a quick note on the Pacers. Not legit, right?
No,
Have we?
no,
Yeah.
they're not. They're
Like,
not.
but
Whoever, and I'm saying whoever because
but do they have no
Boston
chance
not
to
out.
beat? Let's okay. So let's just say
Mhm.
Knicks or Boston win.
Either team wins.
Let's say Knicks win
Yeah,
for a second. Can the Pacers beat them? Because I think they
no,
can.
they
I
can't.
think they can. I think they
They
can.
can't,
I
bro.
think they can because they're
You're
better than they
telling
were last year.
they were, but the Knicks
They're
are
a
not.
lot.
Are the Knicks not better than they were last year? Cat is a wait. Cat
I don't know.
it has an amazing playoff run so far. Brunson looks as good as ever. The big problem with before last year, the players were injured. No player.
Yeah.
Josh Hart is coming is back. Oh, they got OG Anunoby, and OG has been phenomenal. Mikal Bridges, the bane of my existence, for some reason turned into prime Michael Jordan. I don't know.
But he's also one of those guys where he could be
He's an
really
off and
cold.
on switch. He's an
Yeah,
off and
him
on.
and OG are very off and on in terms of offensive
You got
production.
the worst free throw shooter of all time, Mitchell Robinson. You got Deuce McBride. I can't even say the
I don't
bench
know. I don't know.
Tom Thibodeau is gonna run the starting five the whole game.
I just think that
So
like I think Pacers have a chance. I think it's crazy to say
they
they
have a
don't have
chance,
a
but
chance,
they
right?
don't. I don't think they have a chance. They. It's like me saying like, oh, Like when I said the Pistons are gonna win over the Knicks, I thought they had a chance, you know? I thought there could be a possibility. The Pacers, yes, in a world they have a chance beating the Knicks. They don't have a
But it's
chance.
just because like you look at OKC and what makes OKC so good is like aside from Shea,
Hmm.
they will go 10 man deep rosters.
Hmm.
Pacers do a very similar thing
Hmm.
where and then you play them against a Knicks team who has six or even maybe seven on a lucky day that Coach Thibodeau will play these guys
Will
consistent
play.
minutes, right? Like
Yeah.
you know he'll mostly play the starting five. That's what he does.
Mhm.
Mitchell Robinson will be a big piece, but again, like
But you
Mitchell
get something out
Robinson's
of it.
so
You'll
sick.
get something out of it. That's the thing. You'll
Yeah,
get something out of it. I don't think I don't
but the
think
Pacers, but like they bring on guys look how good Obi Toppin is off the bench.
yeah.
TJ McConnell, right?
Hmm.
Ben Shepherd hits a couple threes a game. You're happy with that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You play Thomas Bryant. He gets a couple rebounds, a couple box outs, set some screens. Like these guys play the rules very well. Andrew Nemhard is a great player. He's stepping into a very good player. Siakam, consistent 22, 25 points per night. And Halliburton, you know, as we've spoken about it, can be on and off. I think that he's so overrated to the point where he's actually becoming a little bit underrated. Hear me out. Just hear me out for a second. Just think about it. You looked at Halliburton. He starts off his career in Sacramento
Yeah.
alongside Darren Fox. They're like, obviously, the two guards doesn't work. Let's trade him to Indiana.
Get
Everyone thought,
Sabonis.
why would, like, that makes no sense. Sabonis comes here. We see the Kings have very good success making their first playoffs in however long it was, right? It's early 2000s. But now you look at Halliburton. They're going into their second straight Eastern Conference Finals. Yes, I know we're
The
gonna get into.
Pacers are
I
going.
know, but the thing is, I'm just talking about him
Mhm.
being. I think he gets a little bit too much hate because he's not somebody who's going to go out there and drop 30 points. You know what
No,
I'm saying? But
yeah,
he
I
can.
agree.
But he can. But that's the thing.
But
People
he
expect him to.
can't. He
But people. But
cannot.
that's the thing.
You're
It's
telling me
like
he can?
you're telling me. I think like we've gotten too confused with what a valuable player means to a team in today's day and age.
Mhm.
Just because you're the best player on the team, that doesn't mean you need to average 30 points a game. That's not what it
No.
means.
Yeah,
Like
you're right.
you look at a guy like Evan Mobley.
Mhm.
One could say he's more valuable than Donovan Mitchell to that team. In a way, because look what he brings on the defensive end.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I'd say defensively, I think they pull both their weights, but
Just
pull both of them out, right? Pull Donovan Mitchell out. What do you get? You get that same Cavs team a couple years ago. Yes, they improved, but they're not making any kind of push. Regular season, they're not having the same regular season without Donovan Mitchell.
mhm.
Again, I think Evan Mobley is amazingly valuable, and I want to keep on the Pacers, but I want to just
Yeah, no.
stress that,
I just wanted to
that
use that as an
yeah, this
example
is an
because like
example. Yeah, like
yeah.
I feel like Donovan Mitchell more, but it said that right. Yes, I do agree with you. You're the best player. Like the most valuable doesn't always have to have the 30 bomb.
Mhm.
He's a playmaker. We know that. But
Yeah.
when I say we can agree that he's the guy, right? Right?
I think he's the guy on the team.
Is he the guy? Okay. What guy has a game where seven of his other players are outscoring him, and he's being out assisted by I think believe two to three of them. So in that game for I don't think there's I don't believe I've known a game where and I'm saying a game like just a game where your star player is not your first, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth best scorer, and then even if that's not even his role, he
Mhm.
doesn't even do that the best
But
or the
but we
second
look at
best
and I
in a
understand that,
playoff setting.
but we look at teams and they're very heliocentric. These star players.
Mhm.
Is it
I
too
don't know
big
what
of a
the
word for you?
hell ciliogenic is. I said, uh-huh. I have no clue what you're
No,
talking about.
like heliocentric in the sense where it's like the ball revolves around that person. Like Luca, for example, is very heliocentric.
Yeah.
For as good as a playmaker he is, James
Mhm.
Harden very heliocentric.
Yeah.
And you look at the Pacers team,
Heliocentric.
yeah.
Heliocentric.
Shout out to first things first for that one.
Yeah.
No,
Anyways, I
no,
still
I'm
carried
just
on
saying like
further.
So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
the Pacers team are not very ISO related basketball. Can we
No,
agree on
yeah, yeah,
that?
yeah, no,
So I think
100%.
so I think him being outscored by some of his teammates, four or
Seven,
five.
seven, seven.
Okay, so
That's
but
crazy.
I
The
understand, but
game's
it's like,
about buckets,
but then
no?
what about the games where, like, again, he's not somebody who we expect to drop 30,
Nope.
but he can drop 30.
But he cannot.
But think
No.
about it in
He'll
game
have games
five.
where he's negatively impacting the game that
But
they have to take him
but
out.
but let's look at game five against Cleveland.
Okay.
How well he played. Then we look at game five against Milwaukee. How good he played. They were down by 10 points in overtime with a minute
Mhm.
45 left. Something like
Mhm.
that. I could be wrong. It was a couple weeks ago, but
Mhm.
it was an insane comeback. And he gets the ball. He hits a crazy three. Now they're like six. Gets the ball again, draws and one,
Mhm.
scores. Then
Mhm.
his last play to
It's
win the
Milwaukee.
game.
It's the Milwaukee
I guess
one.
yeah, against Milwaukee,
Okay.
game five. Last play. He gets the switch. He has Giannis on him. We all agree. Yes, Giannis has the he lacks a little bit of the speed on the perimeter. He's not a super great perimeter defender,
Mhm.
as people really view him as. But Halliburton's not drawing him in, hitting a step back three. He's drawing him out, driving in, and hitting a layup on him. Halliburton's not an athletic
The
player.
Pacers. They have the one of the highest, if not the highest, I believe, pace in the NBA. Halliburton is a fast guy. He's able to Brunson does the exact same things to my guys like Tatum, my guys like Brown. They will use their small frame for a guy like Giannis not to foul them because I'm seeing in I think the NBA and as a whole nowadays is a very foul centric kind of game, you know? It will rely on calls. They will rely on what the ref will call, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when I tell you Brunson does the exact same thing, Halliburton does the exact same thing. They'll use their bodies, they'll use their small frames to get that. These bigger guys will be scared of that, so they won't put as much pressure, and then
Mm-hmm.
he'll outpace him and drive to the
But
bucket.
I
Easy.
just don't think it's fair that we fault him
He,
for not being heliocentric. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not fair that we fault him for that because yes, I can fault him for dropping 4 points and going 2 of 8. That's a
Mhm,
horrible in a closeout game where you could have closed out the Cavs in 4 games.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I look at that and it's like, okay, you need to step up. So I'm not saying he's a phenomenal all
But that's what
NBA
people.
first team caliber player. I don't
Yeah.
think people are placing him there though. He's not a
People,
top.
but
He's not
nobody's
a.
saying that
He's
he's
not a
like
top five point
he's
guard.
horrible. He's
No
like
one's claiming
no
he's
one's
a top.
saying
I mean, he's the most overrated player. That's
yeah.
you
But what?
but when you put that word to a player
Yeah.
like Rudy Gobert, aside from this year
Game
and
five.
yeah, but in the last couple years,
Mhm.
he was viewed with that kind of status.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
because it's like, look at his, does he really have much impact when it matters? Now, I get what you're saying with the
Yeah.
Halliburton thing, but when we look at closeout games this year, game five against the Bucks and game five against
The
the
Lakers.
Cavs.
Yeah.
No. Don't do that. Stop mentioning Rudy
Yeah.
Gobert. Game
I
five.
just
One game. One game. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
I think when we use the overrated name
Mhm.
on a player, I think it's wrong that we don't at least defend the player if they deserve a little bit of defending. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think
But
Halliburton
who?
is
What
got
are
to
we
the point,
defending about him?
but
What is there to?
I don't think he's as overrated as what people say because I've
Mhm.
taken the time and watched Pacer games this year, especially in the playoffs,
Mhm.
and just the amount of attention he brings to the defensive end, the amount of skill he has to create his own shot, to create space, make plays for others. Like, and the thing is, he doesn't require the ball to necessarily be super effective. That's what I'm trying to say with the Pacers
Mhm.
team. You look at a Pacers team, they have 7 or 8 guys who average double digit points every game. How many teams do you have that do that? Not many at all, if any. Some of the lower teams that are not good because players are not, but this team has been good all year.
Mhm.
So you look at Halliburton, and it's like, yes, he's not going to give you 30 every night or 26 every night like a Jaylen Brunson would. He's not
Mhm.
going to do that. So in the media's eyes, it's like, what's so good about this guy? But he brings a very Steve Nash, John Stockton, Jason Kidd type esque to the game of basketball, where it's like he does multiple things. He's a pretty good rebounder for
Mhm.
his guard size. He's a phenomenal playmaker. We both can agree on that.
Yeah.
And he's an underrated scorer if you look at it because everyone
I can't agree with that.
because we just talked about he's not a guy who we see drops 30 every night, but he can go off for 30, 35 and get to his shot. Like he has his own shot, he creates his own shot.
Mhm.
I just think that like using that overrated name and place that on him, I don't think was fair.
I like what you said. I don't mean to argue, but I like what you said with Steve Nash and John Stockton. I would agree with you fully. I actually would agree with you and I can agree to an extent. But the difference between those players and him is that I don't see a Steve Nash, and God, I was not alive for his. I just got born for his 2005 um, MVP, so I can't speak too much on it. And John Stockton and I wasn't even a thought. So these players, you can trust that in a lineup, they won't be fully ineffective. Not only ineffective, but negatively impacting the game. What Tyrese Halliburton has shown this year, at least to me, that in games that lineups like if he has a bad game, his team will pick up the slack for him and he will keep
But
like
doesn't that say
he will
more on the
on the
team rather than
team.
a player?
Yeah, on the
Like the
team.
team is better because they're able to do that rather than the player. Because
But you can't say anything about the player then.
but we
Because
look at
people
guys
say, yeah.
we look at guys like LeBron and
Mhm,
Luca and Tatum and Curry when they have
mhm,
bad games. Their team, like I mean, Boston's one exception because Boston's a really good overall depth team. But
mhm,
I'm just saying, like, look at Steph. When Steph has a bad game, the Warriors are horrible.
mhm.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think Steph, yeah. Mhm.
So I just think like, yes, I understand what you're saying. The team can make up for his slack. So for that, we fault him for not being able to keep up to the standard that we expect him to
But
be.
what a guy, what guy is like that in the NBA where
I don't know.
it's not it's not
It's a
only
special case because like yeah, I don't see it much. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I just don't think he's overrated because it's not like he's been named to all NBA first teams
Mhm,
or second teams. Like it's not
mhm,
that he's been named to these like he makes all star games, which is
mhm,
fine. He deserves all star, I think.
mhm.
But like averaging 19 and
Or
11,
Trey Young.
yeah, Trae Young. But I'm just saying like 19 and 11.
Mhm. But okay,
Like
isn't the NBA is the
that's not
NBA not a
like.
player like a superstar like very like
But I don't think he's a
centric team?
superstar. I'm not
No, but
saying he's a
like
superstar.
sorry, not superstar, but like when you see the Celtics versus the Lakers, right? If
Hmm.
a game's just playing, the NBA will broadcast Jason Tatum and either LeBron James or Luca. More likely LeBron James because you know as much as we want to say that he's not, he is one of the faces in the NBA, right? And he's been like that for the longest time, right? They'll show a Curry, they'll show um a Sabonis, Jokic,
Jokic,
right?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So with people, and this is why I go on more leaning more on the side that he is overrated. They'll show a Tyrese Halliburton to be that guy. And then in that game, he'll play the worst out of the starters. Then, if they show Pascal Siakam on that screen,
Hmm.
what happens? Is he the guy? Is he is like if Pascal Siakam? I think Pascal Siakam is having like one of his best career years. No, I'd say so, right?
Yeah.
And in last playoffs, he was great. Like I was scared as a Boston, fan, although we swept him, but he kept they kept the Pascal Siakam kept the series interesting. It wasn't. I don't think I wasn't scared of Halliburton. That's what I'm trying to say.
But can I ask you a question? Can I
Mhm,
ask you a question? If Halliburton didn't play on the Pacers in the Cleveland series,
mhm.
does Cleveland beat them?
No,
Cleveland still doesn't
I
beat
can't
them
say
without
that.
Halliburton.
No, no, they don't beat him because like what? Okay, Halliburton has